Welcome to Concrete Block, the podcast where we break down the latest news and trends in a fair and balanced way. As of now, the price of oil per barrel is around $60, but this number can fluctuate constantly due to various factors such as supply and demand, geopolitical events, and decisions made by OPEC+. The current price of oil has significant implications for the global economy, affecting everything from the cost of gas at the pump to the prices of everyday items in stores. The U.S. Strategic Petroleum Reserve also plays a crucial role in maintaining energy security, especially during emergencies or disruptions in supply. Historically, oil prices have been highly volatile, influenced by events like wars, recessions, and changes in global demand. For instance, the 1970s saw a major spike due to the Middle East cutting exports, while the 2020 COVID lockdown led to a drastic drop in demand, bringing prices down to under $20 per barrel. It's also worth noting that shale oil production can impact oil prices by increasing supply and potentially mitigating price spikes. Furthermore, the relationship between oil and natural gas prices is complex, with changes in one often affecting the other due to industries adapting their energy sources based on cost and availability. As we continue to navigate the complexities of the global energy landscape, it's essential to stay informed about the factors influencing oil prices and their broader economic implications. We'll be keeping a close eye on these developments and exploring more topics like this throughout the show. We'll be right back with more of today's top news on Concrete Block. Welcome back to Concrete Block. We're exploring the intricacies of American history and politics today. Our middle segment delves into the legacy of the Declaration of Independence, written 250 years ago by the Continental Congress. This foundational document has had a profound impact on the country's development, shaping the principles of freedom, equality, and democracy. As we reflect on the Declaration's significance, it's essential to examine whether its modern descendant, the U.S. Congress, is living up to the aspirations of that era. The Continental Congress was a gathering of visionaries who dared to challenge the status quo and forge a new nation. In contrast, today's Congress often finds itself mired in partisan gridlock and political polarization. Despite these challenges, there are still many dedicated public servants working tirelessly to uphold the principles enshrined in the Declaration. They strive to represent the diverse interests of the American people, balance competing priorities, and make difficult decisions that shape the nation's future. However, critics argue that Congress has become increasingly disconnected from the people it serves. The influence of special interest groups, the proliferation of gerrymandering, and the erosion of civil discourse have all contributed to a sense of disillusionment among many Americans. As we navigate these complex issues, it's crucial to remember that the Declaration of Independence was not just a historical document, but a call to action. It reminded Americans that their freedom and equality are not guaranteed, but rather require constant vigilance and effort to maintain. In this spirit, we must continue to hold our elected representatives accountable for upholding the principles of democracy and working towards a more perfect union. By engaging in respectful dialogue, listening to diverse perspectives, and demanding transparency and accountability from our leaders, we can help ensure that the legacy of the Declaration of Independence endures for generations to come. Welcome back to Concrete Block. As we wrap up today's show, I want to dive into a thought-provoking topic that has been making waves in the global community. The United States, once a beacon of hope and democracy, is facing a crisis of identity and purpose. With the rise of nationalism and protectionism, America's role on the world stage is being re-evaluated. Historian Aude Arnay-Westad notes that the country's history of interventionism has produced a counter-reaction at home, with many Americans feeling disengaged from global currents. This disconnect is reflected in the opinions of Republican voters, who are increasingly out of step with the rest of the world on issues like climate change, trade, and social inequality. The current administration's policies have been characterized as a revolution of sorts, a symbolic rebellion against the world that the United States has created. However, this approach has also sparked widespread criticism and concern, both domestically and internationally. The president's comments on immigration and refugees have been particularly divisive, with many viewing them as racist and discriminatory. As the global landscape continues to shift, with emerging powers like China and India taking center stage, the United States is facing a reckoning. Its ability to shape the world is becoming increasingly limited, and its narrow fixation on pet issues is characteristic of great powers in decline. Despite these challenges, it's essential to remember that the United States remains a complex and multifaceted nation, with a rich history and a diverse population. As the country navigates this period of transformation, it's crucial to approach the conversation with nuance and empathy. That's all for today's Concrete Block. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and until next time, stay informed.